Good evening, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Mephisto. As always, with me, my hetero life mate. All my feelings. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, buddy.
I just realized I did not send AJ the fucking link. I send him here's the link. Join us when you can. What is the Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy
continuing string
podcast
of
where we fuck
classically
up every single fucking week. But you know what? If I offend you, I know it's backwards. If I offend you, I offend you. All right, cool. Let's start the show. What is the Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy is a weekly movie podcast where we ask you to go watch a movie. Watch it, come back to us, and we shall discuss it, break it down, and we nerd and geek out on it like the nerds and geeks that we are. You will tell by our voices that we had done some nerdy-ass shit. Also, was a little bit gay, but it was great. It was awesome. We were in Manchester doing the IRL podcast in the face. Well, we didn't do the podcast, but we were hugging it out like the bros that we are. I can't do that. I can't fucking.
No, it's this way.
Like
this way.
No,
it's this way. It's this way.
There.
There.
Bro fist. Right. We had a respite from the show. We were enjoying ourselves in the ye old UK, recharging our batteries. To be honest, I personally I needed that. Like not from this, from actually IRL stuff and all that good shit.
Well, and then we both got COVID.
And we
and
both
got COVID. I think at least probably 70% of the people that were there ended up getting COVID. Every single person that I've heard from is like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Some of them got it by delay, and some of it got it by by association. All right, we've got AJ on the show. Here we go, AJ. Hey, here we go. Hey, AJ.
What up, bro? Sorry I'm late.
No worries, man. It's all me, dude. It's all me. Can you bring up your mic just a tad wee bit?
To me?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, my fan is also back there, bro. I'm in my garage. I might fucking split on camera. Hey, let me know. Can I curse and all this? Like, what's going on?
First of all,
Yeah.
yes. Second of all, I need to bump up my own shit.
Okay.
Hold.
Yeah, is the fan an issue?
I can hear the fan, but you will need to turn up a little bit on the old microphone. So you've turned it down because of the fan, I'm guessing.
Oh, man, I didn't turn it up or down. It's default settings. I'm not the smartest guy in the world.
Hey, dude, you're not talking to the smartest people on earth. Mainly me.
Okay, audio.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. All right, once you start this,
let me just turn the fan
off.
off.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Oh, that's perfect, man.
Okay,
I don't know what you did.
Okay.
Now your voice is nice and crispy.
So I've never used Restream, so I had to change my settings to where I was actually speaking into the mic. I got it close to me right now. Let me put it down. That sound good?
Good.
You're good. That's good. That's perfect. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Cool. We were just doing a little bit of introduction. We'll finish out and we'll discuss everything with you. Okay, just a wee bit. So. We were saying we were in ye old Manchester where everybody fucking got the Rona. So we are at a rough shape, but always important if you have some sort of a fan meetup, fan get up, fan whatever that you can go to, you should definitely, despite the Rona, go and do it because it will recharge your batteries, give you lots of stuff. AJ, you were in Texas? You were in Missouri?
Yeah, man. I reside in Texas.
Yeah, you reside.
I was in Anime Missouri. Yeah.
With the F&T crew and Ricada and other people, right? I've seen it. I've seen Twitter pictures, or just had basically the same thing, but over on the UK, which is not really an anime convention, but more like a, I don't know how to call it.
It's more like it's a meetup more than anything else.
It's a meetup more than of friends. Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Europe.
There's literally like AJ. It's literally a 3-hour show, but people take the entire week off just to go out there and hang out and just get drunk for like a week.
Yeah,
bro, that sound cool. I'm not into like the whole con scene with everybody in there. Like just a little intimate meetup with just the people that we know and want to support. Like that's perfect.
That's 100% it was. Yep.
That was basically it, but with like beer up to like here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So AJ, because we didn't have a lot of time to talk behind the stage and we kind of only talked on DMs, please tell us what you do and where you come from, all that stuff.
I am the abomination known as AJ. Created my channel because I love Disney and Marvel, superheroes and whatnot. Entertainment's been pretty garbage. I had opinions around me that I didn't agree with, or just kind of just praising things. So I sought out the internet, different opinions, and I found some guys that I kind of, agreed with what they were saying, resonated with. They was making channels, telling everybody, hey, go make channels, go get your thoughts out there. I was like, okay, well, ain't no time like the present. I'm getting spurred to do this because of my emotional investment in these companies, and just point out, a bunch of nonsense that I see happening, and just putting my opinions out there.
All right.
Did
cool.
they answer everything?
It's all right.
Does that answer you? Okay.
No, it's okay. I was just some background because I've heard from people that tell me stuff. You're an artist as well, right?
Yes.
Comic book artist.
So I was just saying
this artist in general, but you're going into maybe doing your own book. Hey, that's what like the people whisper,
Yeah, no. I do have plans of putting out a comic book, but that's later on. Like I suck it right. I can come up with some great ideas. But as far as the linear story, I need some help. I just know it's not the time to like really put out anything until I have something fleshed out that I believe in, that I will feel great about providing to people. So man, I'm just writing the stories right now, but like I make like merch, like cartoons is what I wanted to go in. So that's how I got into art. Like I said, Disney, my emotional investment, The Lion King, my favorite movie of all time. And seeing that as a kid, I was like, wow, I want to be able to create something like that. And so my goal is cartoons, which I still want to do. But comic books was just kind of like, okay, well, with the comic books, I can still draw and kind of like control that on my own. And if somebody likes it, I can like present it to them. Whereas cartoons, you have to go to like a studio or, pitch your story and whatnot. Cartoons and superhero comic books, those are my plans. Those are my aspirations. That's the type of art I create.
Cool. All right. So you're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage here because you know who Trey Parker and Matt Stone are, correct?
I don't.
There are the creators of South Park.
I'm familiar with South Park.
And the Book of Mormon and plenty of other things that are basically in the culture, but counterculture. People who we're dedicating the whole August a month for their work. We're going to do Orgazmo today because you were kind of we'll call it late substitute, where we were supposed to have a different guest, which is Comics Division. He will show up probably later. And he has some personal issues, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, we're going to talk about the movie that you have never seen before. So you'll be at a little disadvantage. But if you have any input, anything at all, just jump in and go for it. And I recommend that if you like some sort of, we'll call it a counterculture movie, because this is definitely a counterculture movie.
Very much so, yeah.
You should definitely check it out. This is the show where we tell you to go watch a movie. You watch it, come back and talk to us and all that good stuff. But we do have segments that you will definitely be able to participate and most welcome to. So at a little bit of later date, we are going to open up with Orgazmo, and we will jump straight into our first segment of the night, which is called Behind the Screens.
Production take 2.
What is Behind the Screens is where we turn to All My Feelings, and you will give us the lowdown on everything that is production-wise behind the scenes of Orgazmo.
Okay, you thought finding notes for Assassins was difficult?
Yes.
It's really difficult to find notes for this one, besides the stuff that I already knew. Matt Stone and Trey Parker, originally what they wanted to do was actually make Orgazmo a musical as well. Because their first film that they made together was called Cannibal the Musical, with a little independent, more B-movie studio called Troma Films. It's really important coming up.
Yes, I know.
All of the screenshots and the footage that was shown in the video store of Orgazmo, the actual movie, and when the film, the shots that Lisa's watching outside of the dubbed version of the scene with T-Rex was actually pre-production stuff that they sent out to potential financial backers trying to get money to get the movie made. Because they're actually, you can tell the quality of the film is actually less than actual film quality, because it was all just pre-production stuff.
I did notice a bit of studio-esque feel to it, yeah.
Now, what's funny is around 50% of the budget per Matt Stone and Trey Parker was actually funded by a Japanese porn company named Cuckoo Inc.
Did they also supply the Ass Fuck Twins? Yes, AJ. Yes.
Yeah, they're characters in this movie called the Ass Fuck Twins.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. So I just Googled Orgazmo. Is this a movie came out in 1997?
Yep.
1997.
Yep. So I'm looking at
Oh yeah, you'll look at a lot of
It's ridiculous. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It is
So
super ridiculous. I'll go over the synopsis once we're done with the.
But the Ass Fuck Twins, they were actual Japanese porn stars that Cuckoo that were new in the business that Cuckoo was trying to actually get international appeal for. Now, Cuckoo got bought out by a company called Kazooie Enterprises. That's why you see them actually as the financial production company on the credits. So,
okay. Did they also request for the hellaciously racist Asian guy?
G-Fresh? No. That's what's funny is, remember how I told you that we should have reviewed Cannibal the Musical beforehand? Because I remember telling you about the Indians that were actually Japanese people.
Because I haven't seen Cannibal yet. I haven't.
That's the same guy that was in that. Like, see, we have Indians. We have teepee. Their teepees are just the Japanese flag.
All right.
In Cannibal. Cool. Yeah. That was the chief was G-Fresh, and he was actually a friend of Mastodon and Trey Parker when they were in college, and Trey Parker actually learned Japanese from him.
Nice.
You know that Let's Fighting Love in the South Park episode with when they have fun with weapons. He got that translated. Yeah. He helped translate it, and that's how Mastodon and Trey Parker made the song.
See, I love this segment, man. I love this segment. Yeah. You know about stuff about I know about the periphery of things, and you go deep, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey man, the 90s was a great time, so I'm not surprised.
In the 90s, you had free range to experiment with a lot of different shit. So you get the categories are real shitty movies. Movies that bombed, but later on did a lot of like DVD sales. So they were, let's say, cult classics, and movies that kind of made it and then really become cult classics, and then movies that were, the regular hits. Yeah. That section where they did horribly in the theater and then become like an amazing thing. Those are fucking gems.
Man, I was just saying on my show, I guess the 80s and 90s, that's what I can speak on. Companies took risk, creators took risk. So that's why we got a bunch of the cultural phenomena that we do have. Now it's just rehash, just use the name of something that people already like and just give them a shitty version of that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like to that point, AJ. Like one of the biggest ones is we discussed this to death before, Matt, but especially during Tarantino month, Miramax. Harvey Weinstein. He may be an absolute deplorable fucking person, but the work that he did at Miramax basically made the careers of countless people.
Tarantino.
He's the one who he gave the thumbs up to Tarantino.
He gave a thumbs up to Kevin Smith for the good stuff.
Yeah,
he gave a lot of different producers and all that literally were the shit in the early 2000s. Started their way with Harvey giving them a little bit of budget and just they're running with it. But we we'll not discuss that person here.
Yeah. All right.
Keep going.
So Ron Jeremy was actually supposed to play Max Orbison.
What the fuck is this movie, bro?
Ron Jeremy.
AJ, just go through the images. Oh yeah, there's a whole thing with a cock rocket. It's at the it goes way out there.
And we can we'll go as far as we can. We can't cover every single scene, but every scene, there's something. It's such
it's one of the most quotable films that I've ever seen, and it's only 93 minutes. Because it's rapid fire. Like the jokes go back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
So T-Rex was originally supposed to be played by the, I would say, voluptuous.
Yes.
Porn actress Eartha Quake, but she actually lost the weight prior to casting, so they had to cast someone else for the role.
She was too thin for the role?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Again, so we talked about this before, but Parker dubbed the voice of T-Rex.
Yes.
So you're gonna make me come, or I'm gonna kick your butt.
We're gonna get to that. Don't worry.
It's so bad.
It really is very bad.
Most of the male cast is actually they all have allusions to the name Roy, if you notice.
Yes. Why?
Orbison,
Oh,
Clark,
okay.
and A Cuff, as in A Cup.
Yes.
It was all based on an inside joke between Massa and Trey Parker to see if they could get away with it, and it worked.
It
Yep.
worked. It worked. It kind of flies under the radar if you don't notice it.
If you notice in the video store scene, we mentioned how they had the original pre-production on films up on the actual the TVs in the background. But if you look at on the row of classic films, the entire top row, they're all Trauma films, and one of them is Cannibal the Musical.
Obviously.
Their first film that they made together.
Obviously.
Yep. Lloyd Kaufman, one of the co-founders of Trauma, and also kind of the head, because he's in like nearly every single Trauma film. There's always a thing with Papa Lloyd in it.
Okay.
He is the doctor at the end with Max Orbison.
Okay.
That's Lloyd Kaufman.
Okay.
And what's funny is Chota Boy.
Yes.
The word Chota in Hindi means fuck.
Okay. I thought it was.
So his name would fuck or fucker or to fuck. So it'd be like he's fuck boy.
Fuck boy.
Don't worry. Whatever you don't see on like Google, you'll see on the screen in a bit. Don't worry.
It goes a little
This
well.
is awesome. All right.
That's
Anything else? Because I want to start that. I want to get into
yeah. The last little bit is obviously all of the music in the film, especially the release that we watched, Meth, which is the non-rated version. The love song that was actually the theatrical version, that was, I do believe, was not one of Massa and Trey Parker's, but all of the rest of the music throughout the entire film, the entire score, was done by Massa and Trey Parker, and their band DVDA. Yes.
No.
That's the name of their band.
No. Do you know what DVDA, dude? AJ?
No.
You'll know.
I'm uncultured swine, man.
No. You will know.
You
will know.
You
All right.
don't want to know.
All right.
Okay.
Quick
I might know it's just going over my head right now.
Quick synopsis of the movie. Real easy. Let's say a Mormon boy gets well, you know what? We'll leave it open. Right.
Yeah.
So the start of the movie actually starts with a subject that is like Matt Stone and Trey Parker's ultimate subject, like throughout time, is making fun of Mormon people, the Latter-day Saints. Trey Parker is this dude right here. He has got a partner, and they're literally going door to door, getting slammed in the face, sort of a la like in Friday we had the Jehovah's Witnesses, where in this one we have the Latter-day Saints, where they show up and they get screwed over. The one thing is and it always happens in these movies where the little old lady opens up the door and they say, "Oh, hello," and blah blah blah, and she kind of starts off cordially.
We're from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Oh, the Mormons. Oh,
yes.
You boys can fuck right off.
Yeah. Literally, she tells them to go fuck right
no,
off. And she calls them pig fuckers. Yeah.
No, she says, you boys can take that self-righteous Book of Mormon and shove it so far up your self-righteous asses that you choke. You soul-soliciting pig fuckers. And smiles and just closes the door.
And smiles and closes the door. And
She lady.
She was the most gracious one.
And that is that's Trey Parker's grandmother.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
Did they dub her voice?
No.
Because it seems like, well, it might be my version where it's the speech and her lips are a bit off. Maybe it's just my version.
I don't know.
By the way, we didn't say
what's
hello.
also really
chat,
funny
so hello,
too.
chat. We've seen you. We know you're here. Both DKs and Saf in the shadows. Right.
I was going to say too, Meth, that wasn't the first time that he had hired someone to be from his family to be in a film, because his father plays the judge in Cannibal the Musical.
I haven't seen Cannibal the Musical, but I will
Yeah.
take that in note. So, on the other side of the spectrum, sort of the introduction phase of the movie, we see a porn scene or a porn production where we have the big fat guy who's the director slash producer slash asshole with a failing actor who is good at fucking, but he is bad at actually acting, and he's being a diva, and the director is being frustrated with him. He's like, I don't need this shit. I would need someone. He plays Orgazmo, which is
I
supposed to be
can't.
a suit.
My fingers broke. Listen
Yes.
to me, you cocky prick.
He plays a superhero slash porn whatever, and that's
So his major
and he needs
ability
to-
is,
he
as a
needs to fight,
superhero,
yeah.
AJ, is the fact that he has a thing called an Orgasmo Raider, which
Okay.
kind of self-explanatory. It's a gun. You shoot people with it. They orgasm.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And he is the titular Orgazmo.
And
Renders them powerless.
Yeah.
Renders them powerless so he can dispatch them or tie them up and have the girl. Literally.
What you might find interesting too is, AJ, at the beginning, the opening credits actually have, they commissioned a one shot of an actual Orgazmo comic book. So they actually hired artists to do an independent comic book of Orgazmo, and it's all just intercut, all the chop scenes from that. So it's kind of cool.
And by the
Yeah,
way,
man,
we didn't
check
mention it. We didn't mention it. And AJ, you can Google that. The song "Now You're a Man,"
A man.
a man's man, man's man. It is
Man.
It's hilarious. Like if you heard any South Park song, imagine a South Park song about a superhero who is a manly man.
It sounds like what's that? Fuck your funky face, I call fuck.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, like that. But yes, that's like,
Gotcha.
dude, you definitely right. Okay, so the our titular heroes, our Mormons, come to the door of this production team, open up the door, and of course there's the big hulking fucking bodyguard. He tells them to fuck off. The director kind of hears what the commotion, and he's like, "Who's that? Who are they?"
Some guys from Jesus.
Some guys from Jesus. He's like, "Tell them to fuck off." And he starts.
They said cut off their balls. Goes, he just pulls it up. Goes, sorry, I gotta cut your balls off now.
And he starts
Staring out
beating them up, but we realize that Trey Parker, our what's he's called in the
Joe
thing?
Young.
Joe Young
is his
Joe
name,
Young.
yeah.
So Joe Young kind of springs into action where he suddenly is a kung fu warrior. Where he beats the main dude up. The producer watches this and he's like, "Bring in more guys." And a typical like Hong Kong kung fu style scene.
He does even the whole look around and goes, "Oh."
He has a
said he
Bruce
does
Lee
that.
moment. Yeah, he has a Bruce Lee moment where he fucks everybody up. And the director is like, "Oh, ding." So he pulls him in and he gives him the talk. What is the talk? Oh, my feelings.
Well, no,
And he gives him a cookie.
he brings him in because I just want to share my love of Jesus Christ with you. And he goes like, "Oh, come on in," because Max is trying to get him now because he's like, "Oh, well, this guy can fight, so I can replace this piece of shit guy that I have. So we're gonna bring him in, talk to him." And the first bit there, he was like, "Oh yeah, Jesus, I really dig that Jesus guy, Happy Tart."
Yeah.
Which is their version of Pop Tarts. Because it's the
okay.
90s when they had to have the makeup version of whatever food.
Yeah, because you can't have the real thing, otherwise you're gonna have to
And they were sitting there
caught.
like, what would you think about, being in a movie? I want to pay you $5,000 to do it. And
he's like, what kind of movie? And it's an adult. And he's like, I'm a Christian. I'm a Mormon. I can't do that. It's like, okay, 7,000. No, 10,000. No, 20,000. Just think about what you can do with that money.
But he says too, he's like, well, I can't have sex on camera. Like, oh, we'll just use a stunt cock. It's like, we do it all the time.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just you to focus in on the acting. I was like, but still, I'll be in a film that's starring, pornographic film, like people having sex on camera. I'm gonna have to think about this. And when the money's too good, and the guy already knows he's got him, AJ. Yeah. So he's just like, so we'll see you on Monday. Like, I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna think about this.
We'll see you on Monday. And he's calling his love back home. What's her name? Because I'm so terrible with names. Oh, my
Lisa.
Lisa. He calls his girl Lisa, and he can't really tell her he's doing a pornographic movie. So he said, well, I was asked to do a movie. It's Death of a Salesman. And she's like, okay, how much do they pay? $20,000. And she's shrieking in his ear.
She all over it.
She's all over it. It's like, yeah, you can stay. You don't have to come. That will pay for our wedding, right?
Yeah.
We can have the wedding at the temple, like in Salt Lake City, where they want to do it in, because it's their important shrine or whatever. I don't.
And then after they get off the phone, he is literally on his knees praying to a little statue of Jesus. AJ, right? Like, Lord, please tell me if I should not do this film. Give me any sign. And then the earth starts quaking, and dishes fly out of the shelves. The little Jesus statue falls over, its head falls off.
Yeah.
It looks like any sign at all.
Yeah, please, any sign at all.
So he knows what he's going to do.
I mean, he knows, but he knows. All right.
He just want to go through the motions.
The next scene, and I'm literally, this is the tamest picture I can put on screen for YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. So he meets Cheddar Boy, who is his real name is
what are you looking for, the actor or
no,
the
not the actor, the character's name?
Ben Japlesky.
Ben Japlesky. Okay, so Ben. So that's Ben, and he's like, he's playing the sidekick of Orgazmo, called Cheddar Boy. Now, I can't put on, you can tell there are various things here, but as soon as he's ready to do the scene, he has this bicycle helmet with a giant
dildo on it.
built on it. And his belt is full of it's like a utility belt for Batman, where every single piece is a piece that he actually built by himself. Because what do you know? This guy, who's like the small guy, he actually has 2 PhDs, one in physics and one in chemistry.
Engineering from MIT.
So he actually builds all the stunt stuff for the porno.
It's, believe it or not, it's like, well, why do you do this? If Heavenly Father, like, who? The Lord. What?
Yeah, he's like so oblivious.
Well, believe it or not, just between the two of us, it's hard for me to get action. And then he puts the helmet on with the giant dildo, just flopping about. It goes, for some reason, people don't take me seriously.
As he's strapping it up.
Yeah. Okay, so the photographer. Because this is a running joke. This is Matt Stone, obviously.
It's Matt Stone, yes.
This is Matt Stone. By the way, this dude, I bet you is one of the this dude right here. He's one of their friends.
Yeah, he works.
He works at the South Park, whatever. He's their friend. This guy. Have you seen Boogie Nights, AJ, with Mark Wahlberg?
I haven't, man.
That's another movie you should watch.
Wahlberg. Bro, give me a list, man.
You would absolutely love that movie. That movie's fantastic.
When the show ends, I would have to give you a list of movies to watch. Also, a movie from the 90s, pretty fucking good. This dude is the photographer of the show, of the production, but he is, let's say, repressed gay. So the thing is,
I was about to say he's either looking at some big tits or a big dick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it seems like he's enjoying the scenery, but
Yeah.
he likes the male compatriots more than the female. The thing is, he gets like progressively gay, where he's like, I don't want. And he says it. It's like
It's
I don't
like
want to
I don't want
sound.
to sound queer or
I don't want to
nothing.
sound queer or nothing, but I really like your ass. So it doesn't start with that.
Yeah.
It starts with I don't want to sound queer or nothing, but
Then,
I think
no,
unicorns are cool.
no, because he's talking to Joe Young, our titular hero,
Yeah.
about he's like, hey, have you ever seen that movie Clash of the Titans? Like, yeah. I don't sound queer or nothing, but I think unicorns kick ass.
Yeah, well, he means the
but, it's
Pegasus.
but also, as I told you backstage,
Yeah.
there isn't a unicorn
No,
in
it's
Clash
a
of the
Pegasus.
Titans. It's a Pegasus.
Yeah. But
a
a
winged
horse,
not a
horse
horned
with
horse.
a horn. Yeah.
But one thing that you missed right before that, Mep, was the setup with the whole Chota Boy and his unique little sex toys. All of them have
That's what
like
I
a
said.
pun thing, AJ, where in the scene they actually have like a vibrating hand. He blocks a punch with the hand. Goes, need a hand.
Yeah, the movie is
He slaps
full
him
of these.
like, oh, that's handiwork.
The movie is full of puns where wherever they need a joke, it's always a pun, and it's trying to be like joke, or like situation, funny situation. Or if there's no funny stuff, it usually they're fighting, because there's a lot of like weird fighting. The whole point of Chota Boy is it's so convoluted. He's like this grandmaster martial artist, but he's in hiding because he has a hamster style.
Oh
Because
God.
whatever, it's like the old monkey style, crane style, all that stuff. He has a hamster style, but he has this once he like talks to Joe Young, the main guy, and he's like, and it comes a little bit later, but he says to him, well, I was sitting at my dad's like at the dinner table, and I said, Dad, can I do the hamster style?
Breakfast. So is that breakfast? Was like, Dad, I don't think I'm going to do hamster style anymore. And the guy just says, "That's nice." And it cuts, it pans out from the flashbacks in black and white of him sitting there like, and that's how it went down. And he's sitting there crying, and Joe's looking at him like, what?
As if it was like a traumatic thing.
Yeah,
that's nice.
But it kind of gives you a little bit of a backstory about this guy who's down and like super nerd, but he inside there's an animal brewing, as if, I mean, it's a hamster.
It's a hamster.
It's a hamster.
So then after that, the original scene there with
DVDA.
Yes, the DVDA woman. So DVDA is a term referring to double vaginal, double anal.
Okay.
Yes. DVDA.
Okay.
That's also why Madison and Trey Parker named their band DVDA.
Yes. And the whole point is, you see, from the moment he shows up in the scene, they have this kind of weird, overly, it's overly cringy kind of start of a scene. And when Joe Young needs to do the deed, they bring in a stunt cock where there's literally a guy. You see a guy walk into the scene,
hey, how you doing?
and hairy ass in front of your face. And you see that like the 70s porn music going bow chicka bow wow. And
like our face or his face?
No. Face. It goes like camera front and center. It's just ass.
Ass. Right? And you go into the thing, and it cuts to Joe Young's face where he watches the scene and he's horrified, but you can't really show the porn in the movie because it's NC-17, but there are limits. I mean, there are bits in this, but it's not overly gratuitous.
Well, and what's funny too is because we watched the unrated version. In the actual theatrical, there's no nudity. There's no nudity whatsoever in the actual theatrical release. It was still got an NC-17 rating.
So along that day of shooting, Joe Young or Orgazmo meets this lady who actually have this actual conversation with him where she's too old to do regular stuff. As the older you get, the less parts you have, so you have to go deeper and deeper into like bizarre and
And if you
sleazy.
don't
So
think
you
that
do it.
opens me up like a turkey on Thanksgiving, you got another thing coming.
Yes.
So she got to do the wild stuff to get
She
work.
got to do and he doesn't know what vaginal double anal means, and suddenly he's like, his eyes are like popping, and as soon as his eyes popping, the creepy
Turtle
guy's like,
boy.
I don't want to be queer or nothing.
No, that's later. That's later. But no. This is when a turtle boy walks up to him and goes like, "Hey, so we're gonna all get together later and go have some sushi." Like he's sitting there eating a Pop-Tart and talking to him, and Joe's just like,
Yeah,
What the fuck am I looking
horrified.
at? What? And this is when we meet G-Fresh.
G-Fresh. Yeah, I have to. Yeah. We'll do this. Go ahead. I'll just. I want to make sure it's on a good.
So, Master and Trey Parker. This is the second reference actually that calls it's a callback to Friday, because you've seen Friday, right, AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
With Ice Cube,
they have the
Yeah, I would
Korean
say Ice
guy
Cube,
at the bodega, and he's dressed up like in typical like just South LA kind of like gangster way. Like he has a full chino, like fully mocked up. He has a do-rag on and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is supposed to be their take on it with G-Fresh, except for he is very, very vocal, and he has a very thick Japanese accent.
Yes. And he's throwing up gang signs. He's
Like,
talking.
He keeps saying, "You know what I'm saying, G?"
The Kango hat.
Yeah.
Everything is taking it to the absolute 12.
And we can't do that no more.
No.
Well,
Nope.
well, it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They can do whatever they want. But this is 1997, where you could literally do it's plain satire. It's taking a character and bringing it to the so extreme where it's I get what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get a complete satire of what if we take a Korean guy or a Japanese guy and flip it around to the other side and show it to you how fucking crazy this is. But the thing is with the sushi places where they just go and hang out, and suddenly they found out he gets shaken down by these three goons, and they want him to sign over the contract of the thing. By the way, it is so typical Japanese. You have in the corner a white guy doing karaoke badly.
And what's really funny too is that the mobsters, when they break in, that one guy grabs it by by the way, his name's Landshark. I know all the goons' names too.
Oh my god, you're so crazy.
He takes the shelf and just smashes all the glass in it. And G-Fresh's response to just goes, "Wow!" And then the other guy, Guppy, the guy who's standing there, he's snapping toothpicks.
Yes, literally one by one, he's snapping toothpicks. This is gonna it's
you see how hyperbolic and stupid it's supposed to be.
It is so over the top, and the guys are just sitting there looking at him, and they ask him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, what can I do?"
And they break it up, and Joe says, "Well, why don't we call the cops?" And all of them just start laughing. Like, you can't call the cops.
Yeah,
what are they gonna do? It's like, where are you from? And Joe, this is the first time he makes the joke is said. He goes, "I'm from Utah," and the girl looks at him and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah. All right, cool. We're gonna pause our little show where we head over to our first segment of the night. It is called Missing Marquee. Missing Marquee for AJ and the uninitiated in the chat is where we take 10 posters of movies, have their text written off, we display them, and AJ is going to have to guess which movie this is. Chat participation is most welcome. You're on a 20-second delay, so AJ,
okay.
Let's go. Which movie is this? By the way, if you need to punch in, I can do that.
Okay. So I'm telling you, or you giving me like a choices?
Tell me the name
tell
of
me what movie
this
it is.
movie.
Reflection.
No.
Okay.
This is Bruce Willis. This is Joseph Levine's whatever. Joseph Levine.
No.
I know
Bruce
God.
Willis. I said I know Bruce Willis.
I know. Oh, my feelings. You know every single one of these movies, dude. Trust me, they came up at least once, and they came up during the other segment as well. No go. Chat doesn't know. This is Looper.
I've heard of that.
It's a difficult one. This is an 80s movie. This is Rodney Dangerfield. Also starring a very, very, very young Robert Downey Jr., although it is a very minor role. No idea, AJ?
Graduation Day.
Close, but no.
I'm feeling like he went back to college to try
Yes, that's true. That's true. He went back to college.
Do I
his
get
son
hints?
His son is in that college as well. He went back to college, and it is called Oh My Feelings.
I thought, was this Head of the Class?
Not Head of the Class. It is Back to School.
Oh, this is Back to School. Okay.
See, man, I'm a cartoon dude. You just gave me the plot of what's that? An extremely goofy movie.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you think they got the inspiration from?
I see. Right. Thank you for educating me.
Clive Owen.
God damn.
Wow. Oh, My Feelings and Stomped. Chat, I can see you. You go ahead and give us your best guess.
Bro, I'm going to get all of these wrong. I'm just letting you know.
Don't worry. AJ, you're not the first guest who has been stomped by these.
Oh, yeah.
Not the first. Not the last, I hope. It's fun. This is why I do it. Because it's so much fun.
All right. How many words? Do I get hints?
3.
Any type of help?
3 words.
Okay, I do know what it is. Now.
Okay. Chat is stomped as well. AJ stomped. Oh, My Feelings. This is...
Isn't it Children of Man?
Children of Men.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. This movie is so fucking bad.
This movie is terrible.
So, AJ, I'll give you... This was a bomb. This is a big bomb from the Wachowskis. This is the film they made after The Matrix. The trilogy, the original trilogy was done.
This is after they transition into the sisters.
No, only one did at that point.
Only one did at
only
that
one,
point.
Yeah.
Okay. This is like 2011, 2012, something like that.
2012,
2010.
2013. It was early 2010s.
Yeah. Oh, AJ.
I'll give you another clue. It's 2 words. The first word is that giant big orb in the background.
I love DK Royce. He's like, Serenity.
It is Serenity.
It is not Serenity.
Is it was there like a Jupiter something?
Yes,
Jupiter
something. Jupiter something.
Jupiter.
Not descending, but
I was ascending.
Yes.
Jupiter ascending.
It's Jupiter rising, but okay.
Right. Oh, shit. Okay.
Fine.
I've never seen it.
But
you can skip it. Definitely.
Trust me, you do not need to see AJ. That movie is fucking awful.
I've got 5 movies off the bat you can literally watch instead of that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of those films too, by the way. This film is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Let me know so I'm prepared next time. I can actually be a contender.
Oh yeah. The AJ, dude. The whole point of the show is literally you can have 0 information.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the movie as a movie, even for the first time ever, and then you be on the show. I know it's my on my end that I got you like so unprepared. I know. All right, so you probably don't know this thing. I don't know what happened with DK. DK is usually on the ball. This is, of course, Oh My Feelings.
Well, it depends. It could be Leon or The Professional. It's
the
depending on
States-
when you watch it.
In the
Yeah.
States, it's called The Professional. You find it only as The Professional, but everywhere else in the world, it's called Leon.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Mm.
This is not a good movie.
I mean, depending on who you ask.
Bro, I was about to say Legally Blonde. She's not blonde though.
It's not Legally Blonde.
So,
Came out a little bit
typically-
later.
Typically, in any kind of beauty pageant, they have someone who is the most, I would say,
Is it
the best
Miss
conversationalist.
Congeniality?
Miss
Yes.
Congeniality.
There you go.
Correct.
This is another good fucking movie.
The tagline
Always bet on black.
always bet on black. But apparently, if you're in a Manchester casino, always bet on red
Red.
if you're called Mephisto. But
Hey,
if
always
you're
bet on
called-
black.
Yeah, if you're called All My Feelings, you definitely need to bet on black.
I made some money on there.
By the way, I don't know if
I'm
you've noticed. Hold. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm wearing red. You're wearing black. That's exactly how we bet in Manchester.
Okay, I made the connection when y'all said it.
No,
I said,
no,
look,
it's
they
a-
rocking the colors.
No. All right, cool. This is called. No one
Bro,
in
I'm
chat knows?
embarrassed because I figured out the white lady one, but I don't know the black guy.
This is also a really good movie, too.
Wait, do you know who the actor is?
Oh yeah,
He
Wesley
just turned
Snipes.
60. Yeah, Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes just
Yeah,
turned
Wesley
60.
Snipes.
Cool. This is the movie that made Wesley Snipes into an action hero. After
Yep.
this one, he was commissioned to be in Blade.
Mhm.
This is called, Oh My Feelings,
Passenger 57.
Passenger 57. Pow! 2010 or 11. This is all right. This is Matthew McConaughey. Steve
That-
Zane on the side.
And that
Penelope
Cruz?
Cruz on the other side.
Bro, I graduated high school in 2011.
Don't worry. We had people younger than you on the show, failing just as much as you are. That's the whole fun of the show.
I think I know this. I think.
You think you know this one. They are literally looking for Civil War gold in the title of this movie.
Yes, I do know it then. Yeah, I do know it.
Oh
Look,
man,
sand.
And
that's one word.
in Africa. That's
DK got it.
DK got it. DK got it. Oh yeah.
What DK got?
Sahara. It
This
is
man
called
said
Sahara.
sand in Africa. You should have said desert.
Well, Sahara there's sand and it's Africa. It's
Yeah.
the only place you find it
I
is in
feel you.
Sahara. Cool. This is an old film. I don't expect you to know All My Feelings. Please tell me which movie this is, because we've got one more after this.
I completely forgot. That's
This
Gene
is
Hackman, right?
Gene Hackman, correct?
Yeah. I completely forgot the name of this movie.
It is a
Drawing a blank.
early 70s movie. I'm going to give it 2, 3, 5, 10 more seconds to see if anybody pops in. We kind of had two of these movies once before. One of them is about a UN translator. Don't remember exactly the name of. And this one where it literally made Gene Hackman's career so strong. He got so much money to do Superman.
Oh yeah, he did.
The two movies I'm talking about. One of them is this. The other one is that UN translator movie. It is called The French Connection.
Yeah.
Last one.
I got this one.
All right.
Go.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
The Pursuit of Happiness. Correct, sir. Hey, you got 2 out of 10, dude. Don't worry about it.
2 on my own.
Hey, don't worry, AJ. We've had people
We
just
had
goose
0
egg.
out of 10.
So-
Don't worry. It's like, what are these movies? Where did you find them? It's like a website that had posters on them, I guess. All right. I'm sorry about that. Right. Well, we're going to have to move on the plot to Ben's apartment where we discussed this. He tells Joe Young about his hamster style.
Oh, I was gonna say real quick. There was just one scene with Georgie, which that actress who plays Georgie.
Yes, the actress
she's
who
still
has like
the big
she's
fake.
She self-described as I'm so full of silicone.
No. That's what after the success of
it comes up
Orgazmo,
later. Yeah.
she goes back to get more plastic surgery to get even bigger fake tits, AJ. And so it's like my doctor says I have enough silicone in me to kill a small elephant.
This is in the movie, right?
Yeah,
in the movie.
Okay.
In the movie, yeah.
But no, that actress, she actually knew Mastodon and Trey Parker when they were in college. They were friends for years. She was in Cannibal the Musical. She was in Orgazmo. She had a small role in Basketball, like a side little cameo.
Okay.
She's done so many voices for South Park.
Oh.
And yeah, like she's worked for South Park since the very beginning, like one of the major female voices.
And
like, she's done.
And she's one of the women in this one that literally does not look like an actual porn star. All the other actresses in the movie,
well, because they actually are real porn stars. All the other ones
they look very much like a porn star, and she doesn't. And when she's like bragging about having her tits done and everything, she's always with a vest or a sweater, or it literally looks mega fake, as in she had to put something on to make it look like she has big tits. Right. So
let's see. The only thing
that sounds like a win. That sounds like the porn stars.
I mean, she's not ugly.
Yeah. Well, that's what they hired Ron Jeremy to be in it, and Ron Jeremy was like, "Hey, do you want me to call people and bring them on?" And they're like, "Yeah." And two of the other like the actresses were like, "Yeah, we'll be in it. We don't have to fuck." So.
Yeah. It's easy work, and they probably got paid, and they probably got paid a little bit more actually. All right, cool.
Probably, but the other thing that's really funny about that scene though too is when he is always constantly pushing boundaries, Max is. So it's like, so you have to do something. You have to touch her. So they're like, so you have to touch Georgie, the actress with the big fake tits. She's still wearing a top and everything, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but you have to touch him. So he puts his hand up to squeeze, and it makes it like a literally like AJ the honking noise. The
yeah.
like it's like a dog's toy.
They made it so gratuitous. It's like, oh my god, that's so funny. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. You're laughing.
And before that too, they were like, you have to look like you're having fun. So he's laying on his back and he just starts waving his arms like this.
By the way, later on in Basketball, that's the happy dance.
Yes, I'm doing the happy dance.
Anyway, so Joe Young goes to Ben because they become actual friends, or starting to become actual friends. He knows about the whole hamster style, and Ben kind of says, well, you know that in the porno, you kind of have something on your hand that fakes shooting stuff. Well, I built the actual thing. And he puts it on his arms like, that's like really easy to carry. Yeah. And Ben is like, whoa, that's heavy for me. Because he's like a tiny little man, right? He's a manlet. And it's like, oh, can you feel the trigger inside? And Joe's like, yes. And he clicks it. You can hear a click. And it fires at Ben. And Ben is like, oh, thank you.
So he built a real Orgazmo
real Orgazmo meter, right?
And they were like, oh, just shoot yourself in the foot. Give yourself a treat. He was like, oh, you're putting me on. So he shoots himself in the foot. And he falls down to the ground. And he just starts air humping. He's like,
yeah.
Because he's a Mormon.
So
and then Ben walks out there like, man, it's so much better than jerking it and getting your arm all tired.
Yeah.
And the thing is, well, you know us boys, if you have a new toy to play with, let's play. So they go out in the street and they have a series of things. So the first guy is literally this guy. Where he
from that's the photographer.
That's the photographer, the creepy
queer
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
You shoot him, he just goes. It continues on talking.
Yeah, he literally absorbs it for a second, and then he's like regular.
Oh, the
Then
photographer dude. So they use it on him?
They use it on him on the street, and he goes into a convulsion, and then it stops, and he keeps talking as if nothing happened. Then they shoot a cop who does a frisk, and the cop is like, takes his own ass.
He's air humping the guy,
and he starts air humping the guy he was literally doing the search on.
Disgusting.
Then they shoot an
two
old
women.
lady.
No, the two women was hilarious because there are these two women walking down the street. He shoots them both. They start orgasming so hard they fall on the floor. This guy is walking up behind them with like a big gulp. He just stops, takes a sip, and just is just watching them.
Yeah, he just looks at them, and then they shoot an old lady. It's not an old lady. It's like it dressed up to be an old lady. They shoot her, and she starts going crazy, and then she starts straddling the walker. as if it was like a stripper pole or something. It's the whole scene is like completely off the wall, but you know, it's boys playing with their toys, right?
I don't blame the guy with the big gulp.
No.
Yeah, just like
no.
If you're gonna put on the show, hey.
I mean, it's in the street. I'm gonna watch.
I'm giving you an audience.
Right. So the thing is, with porn, they wrap up real soon, and they kind of trying to advance the time where it's literally Orgazmo becomes a phenomenon, as in it's so phenomenal as a movie, even though it's stupid.
How it did it?
So phenomenal as a movie, it becomes so great, it transcends the porn barrier, and it literally becomes toys for little children, as in it becomes a real thing.
And there's one thing where Max opens up it's the Hollywood Reporter, and it like the top grossing films of all time says Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Orgazmo.
Yeah. It literally it's all about the merch, and it literally is it's presented to us in the movie as this amazing blockbuster. Everyone's seen it, everyone knows about it, and of course the greedy and it's literal a montage where you can see Joe Young calling the producer director. Is like, I didn't get my 20,000 yet. Where's my 20,000? Oh, it's in the mail. It's probably lost. Don't worry, we'll cut.
Mailed it 3 times. Those rotten bastards.
Yeah. And along the way, Mr.
Oh, I was gonna say, just roll back real quick.
Okay.
There is that second line. You know, the everything with the photographer, how it escalates, AJ. So this is the second one. So when they're doing the whole wrap up, when they're doing the just photographs, everybody goes, I don't want to sign a queer or nothing, but I'm really gonna miss you guys when this is done.
Oh, and we do have
everybody say Geddy Lee. Who's Geddy Lee? Best bass player of all time.
Okay, so Joe Young is being frustrated. So he knows about the party. After he's like, I need to get my money. He goes out and he tries to get his money, because the whole point is getting the money, taking it back to Utah, and, you know, getting married with this girl, right? Because he's just wrapped up Death of a Salesman. So he goes there, he meets that photographer guy, and the photographer, what they're looking at is something that I'm not really sure I can show. The whole point is
you can at the beginning. It's a naked mariachi band. They literally call them Los Naked Mariachis.
Now, they're not good looking, but they're naked, and their penises is hidden by the big fucking guitars. And this guy is like, I don't want to sound queer or nothing, but their music is good, or I don't even
No. He was like, hey, so what do you think about Depeche Mode?
Oh, Depeche Mode. I think Depeche Mode
but I think Depeche Mode is a sweet band. It's like,
okay.
It's
like super random. And of course, we're gonna skip a little bit.
Then we do have just
I got this.
Beating of G-Fresh.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's Los Naked Mariachis.
That's the Naked Mariachis. I had to. It's just so stupid. It's so dumb. It just
It
catches
adds
you.
nothing to the
catches
movie
you.
at all. They just like, fuck it.
If you're gonna watch this movie and it still
check
is
it
gonna
out.
catch you off guard completely.
Hey man, sex sales. They know what they was doing.
Oh yeah. But so then they have the
They
shoot
have
the scene
a
there.
conversation where the producer says, "Well, you're going to do the sequel." And it's like, "I don't want to do the sequel. I just want to get my money." It's like, you're not getting any money until you do the sequel. But
No, he gives him the money. He gives him the check for
he gives him the check, right?
So like, I'm going to pay you $40,000 if you do the sequel. Now, granted, the fact that how much money this movie has made, AJ, given the fact that it's now supposed to be the number 3 box office film of all time.
Yeah,
where it's like, yeah, you could pay him more than $40,000.
I'd went against my beliefs for this.
Yeah, exactly.
but the thing is, he still has to talk to his girlfriend back home, and he's like, I need to do the sequel. It's like, isn't in Death of a Salesman the guy
he
dies at
dies?
the end a
Like,
death of a salesman?
No, it's a revenge story, but doesn't he commit suicide? No, that's what they want you to think. It's all about the CIA.
It's the CIA.
Because they were selling, what was it? Selling drugs to somebody.
They were selling smack to underprivileged kids or something.
Yeah.
So stupid. And the thing is, but this time they're gonna pay me $40,000, and the whole joke is he knows she's gonna scream. So as soon as he says 40,000, he does this. Just takes the phone off, and he's like, and you could hear her scream. But yeah, all right, cool.
So why he got to tell her? Because he's away for longer, or he knows she's going to see
because
this
he's
away
away
for longer. Yeah.
The whole point is he's gonna get 20,000, and then they're gonna, get married. Now he has the 20,000, but he has to stay and make some more money, and have a house. Blah blah blah. It's Utah. It's the 90s, so it's literally setting them up for life, or at least the start of their life. Yeah. But as soon as the sequel starts, the problem actually revealed themselves. And yeah, I kind of skipped over. Like I said,
so there is just one little side note that's really funny in there, AJ. When you watch the movie, you'll get the you'll find it funny. G Fresh, remember our sushi friend, gets the shit beat out of him, but he only has a scratch on his cheek.
Yeah, he has.
That's supposed to be the running joke is because they actually have a doll where they smash it into all the glass, all the display glass.
They
where all
literally
the
they literally smash the whole place on top of him, and he's like. One little scratch.
Oh, that hurts so bad. Oh, that hurts so bad.
Are they trying to say he's just a badass gangster, or because he Asian, he's like dodging shit?
Oh, no. It's supposed to be stupid for the sake of being
stupid. Stupid for being stupid. It's like a naked. Have you ever seen one of the Naked Gun movies? It's just like that, where the Frank Drebin,
scary
the
movies
main guy,
or anything like that, where it's supposed to be just stupid for stupid's sake. Yeah.
Okay. It's like you see him like getting his arms bending and stretched and broken, and later on he just jumps in. It's all good.
What they pull in the prop dummy.
Exactly.
They actually have a prop dummy they throw against the wall.
They throw. You see a fucking doll on the wall. It's like that's literally obvious. They don't care. They don't care.
So that's what you meant by smashing a doll's head against the glass.
Yeah, a literal doll.
All
up against the wall and inside the fucking sushi case as well. So the whole point of that shot was that's the new antagonist. That's the new bad guy, and he's played by the director's
nephew.
Yeah. So it's another trope where the director gets his family to do the stuff. But the thing is, he actually knows how to fight. So he can actually kick some ass, and he's being antagonistic for like just being
no reason.
A bad bully. He just bullies.
He's just a dick.
He's just a dick on set. He's just a dick on set, and he likes to be the dick on set. And he pesters everybody. He pesters the girls, the boys, whatever. He fights whoever he wants. He smashes a girl up against the wall just to smash her. That's it. And
Equality.
Equality.
Yeah.
Equality.
which is speaking of equality, that's coming up in the next scene. So they have with the first scene on the whole Greek set
Yes.
meth.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
now you know that dumb adage where that they're talking about that in Neuter Man, he gets away and Orgazmo shows up and everything. He's like, oh, I don't know what he was talking about. It's all Greek to me. And then it pans to everybody who's on production, and they're all going.
There. I guess that's the best I can do.
Speaking of equality, right after that, they all go stunt cock, stunt cock, stunt cock, which means like it's time for penetration.
They pull him into the bed.
A big overweight black guy shows up, like wearing the Orgazmo costume, and he just starts walking on set. And the porno music is playing, but it's off note where you could tell like this is weird. Yeah. And Max looks over to his guy, over to one of the guys in production, is like, "Don't you see that there's a problem with this?"
Yeah, this is a little bit of a problem here. It's like, no, I don't see any problem.
He's like, no, he goes, no,
I don't see any
fuck
problem.
it.
Let's go.
So this is for the sequel, right?
Yeah,
this is supposed to be the sequel. And they bring in a stunt cock, and the stunt cock, let's say, does not match.
Yeah, so they didn't care about continuity.
No,
exactly.
No, that's the whole point. It's a satire, a parody, and an over to do some sort of a. Oh, we're also laughing at the porn industry as well, but we're also including them where people from the industry are literally doing the movie about themselves. And they're literally like every scene where you see like what's his face? Ron Jeremy in this, he is overacting, not because he's in a porno overacting, he's literally making fun of himself as a porn actor. And we'll get to it in the fighting scene where I was laughing my ass off. Yeah. Laughing my ass off. Right.
So then we get another cut to the photographer with Joe again. And this is where he steps over that line,
that's
AJ.
where he steps up. Yeah, that's where
he goes,
the creepy guy.
Hey, I don't want to sell a queer nothing, but I think you got a nice ass.
Yeah. And Joe is like, what? And it steps away, just the slide over, and it's like, yeah. So they go to the sushi place, and they found out the places got raided, and G Fresh is kind of down on his luck, and he already signed the contract, and has to close down because he says to the boys, well, you're gonna have to find a new place because I just sold this place to the bad guys.
Yeah. Well, and he says too, he says, what happened to you, G Fresh? What happened to that cut on your cheek? Doesn't mention the face is completely destroyed. Just he mentions the cut on his cheek. His arm
where
is
there's literally almost nothing.
And he says, AJ, I think by far one of the funniest affectations of this I've ever heard. They just whooped my sorry black ass.
and they're just looking at each other, don't know where to bury themselves. What just happened? What just happened? Oh my god! So what they decide is like,
quick question.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen movie Sex Drive?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think I did.
Because the whole gay thing, the progression of this character to gay that was in there and it was well done. So
yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
We're talking about AJ. Yeah, I got you.
On the list again. Yeah, I've got a few I need to put on the list.
I was gonna say too that one with G Fresh when he's singing that old Stendaru, which is an old classic Japanese sort of like it's a classic, very somber song. But he's singing that, and the guys look over each other like, there is nothing sadder than a sad Japanese man.
It's just
Jesus. And Joe's first response is, where?
So both of them decide to get that contract back. So where do they go? To the Lion's Den. But we can't have our faces on. Let's put on a costume and have the Orgazmo Ray with us.
Better.
So they
So
bring
they're
him
in
to
a
this.
line outside of the club, AJ, get this.
Yes, and the club is
It has that entire utility belt full of sex toys that are basically like, like grappling hooks and shit.
Okay.
And Joe has that big metal Orgazmo gun on his arm, and the guy pats them down and just like,
yeah, go in.
Go have fun.
Literally, the guy just does this. Go. And they go, and it's like a regular fucking 90s club.
What's this dude? What's this dude behind him doing? He looks a little.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this guy is like, if you take this guy, it's like a typical, I'm going to a club hairdo white guy.
In the late
That's
90s.
In the late 90s. And the girl is like, literally, that's how they dressed. If you're not emo, that's how you dress. That's it. To a club. It's so weird. But it is what it is. So they jump. Let's just say they raid the place.
And yes,
and they want to know where the contract is. So on the one hand, he has like this Batman grappling hook thing.
His harpoon thing, by the way.
He's a harpoon thing. And the other, he's got a regular dildo where they want to know where the contract is. And he keeps...
He just keeps slapping the shit out of him with it. And then finally, AJ, he grabs it and just goes... Pokes it in the face with it.
Like, as soon as they know where it is, he's just wiggling in his face. Like, he's trying to put it up his nose or something. It's just awesome. And of course,
you got that big thing. You got...
they subdue everybody with the big, Orgazmo Ray, where some of them are like down for the count and some of them can take it a little bit, but then it's over. And they get the contract.
So they all leave. All the goons run out, and AJ, like from a scene from like 60s Batman, the guy runs out, stops in the middle of the street and goes, "Curses!" And the other two goons look at him like, "Curses? What's wrong with you?"
Say shit like a man.
And when he gets back home, he is
Meth.
surprised.
I was gonna add one note real quick.
Okay.
Great pause there. There is a line right there when they're in the car when they're going back, and goes like, "No, I'm going back to Los Angeles. Way too much weird stuff goes on here." I remember I told you I have a long history with this movie, going back to when I was in college. So now, AJ, when I was in college, my friends and I made a drinking game out of this. Granted, this was a very, very long time ago. And my friend back then, he could only get a Chinese version of the film because they didn't have an international DVD release of it. So he had to buy a Chinese version of it. So it had all of the audio completely just normal, but the subtitles cut off at that line where it just says there's way too much weird stuff that goes on around here. And for the rest of the film, that was just on the bottom of the screen.
Okay. That's a weird
personal story.
Weird version. Okay, so when Joe Young comes back home, the face is literally mirroring his girlfriend. He's like, surprise! It's like he is deathly afraid of what's going on because he realizes that his girlfriend is now there in LA trying to, be with her boyfriend until he finishes up his movie and then they can go back home to Utah. But he realizes, oh shit, she cannot be here because this is legitimately bad. Like super bad. They go into the home and he's like trying to hide things, put stuff away that may or may not be a little bit illicit or,
Oh, we did gloss over real quick too during the success of Orgazmo. He won Best Male.
Oh, he won Best Actor in the AVN Awards. Yeah.
So it pans over to one shot where Lisa and Joe are hugging AJ, and there's just the statue of the AVN statue with the guy with his arms like this and a big old dick.
Yeah. And that's the thing he hides away while she just enters the place.
So he wins it for the movie.
He
From
wins it
doing the movie.
for the
Yeah.
movie, even though he has a stunt guy to do all of his actual fucking.
So they have merch and he's won an award, but
yes,
he's fighting for 20,000.
Exactly. So we do have a little bit of a clash in the thing, like I said, with this guy, where his uncle at the director is like, relax, we're all friends here, we're trying to finish the shoot, just continue. And Joe is like, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And the director flips out on him, where he's like being a lot more intimidating, where he's like, you are not leaving this set or I will kill you myself.
No. He uses the line, "You'll be sleeping with the fishes." See,
yeah, you were sleeping with the fishes. See, as if he was a gangster from the 1940s.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of, you know what? It reminded me. Kind of reminded me of an old Dave Chappelle thing, where in a very old stand-up, I don't know if it was his first or his second, he's like, I know how to deal with the cops. Every time they come up to me, I'll go like this. I don't know what you want from me, copper. See? It's like,
yeah,
they can't arrest. Yeah. See, it's like they can't arrest me for doing a voice. They can arrest me for everything else, but you can't do you can't arrest me for doing that voice. What can you do? And they're stumped, and they just leave, so I can get away with like having like a dime bag in my pants, literally. And I was like, yeah, that's exact. You sleep with the fishes. See, that's a gangster from the 1940s. It's so over the top.
So it was right after that they have the scene with Lobsterella and Chota Boy.
Lobsterella. Now, Lobsterella
the only thing.
Let me guess, the dog with the dick on his head.
Yes, the only thing that's important is they introduce a character called Chota Dog, AJ, which is just like, aw, this cute little chocolate, like a brown lab. Yeah. But he has the same helmet that Chota Boy has on with a dildo on his head, and it just paints this dog just standing there.
The dog is just looking at them, and you have the porn music going. You have to watch this thing. You have to watch this thing. This is so crazy. All right, cool. So we get the discovery. So, because in every movie, you have to have some sort of something that happens. So the girl kind of, goes into a video store.
Oh, and I don't know if you see that there. You did a perfect pause. That is a poster for the Toxic Avenger. You can see the Trauma film poster there.
Yes, right there.
There. That's in the middle there. That section in the center. That's also a Trauma film.
Yes.
Oh, Toxic
Avenger. No, that's the Toxic Avenger.
Yes.
No, the one in the background.
This is a movie you wanted me to watch, and I said, well, it's Trauma. It's like so hard to get. You can't find it on a streaming service.
Yeah,
I can't.
Trauma films are hard to find.
I had to literally strap on the boat and just go, right?
Yeah.
And I still couldn't find it.
Oh, man.
But on YouTube, you can find the Toxic Avenger trailer. Like Trauma Films presents the Toxic Avenger. It is crazy.
What's really funny too is AJ. I don't know if you know this, but they're doing a remake
of Toxic Avenger.
Yeah,
you know who's going to be in it?
No,
Peter fucking Dinklage.
Yeah,
exactly. My response exactly. What?
Yes. I mean, yeah, but he was just talking about how bad it was that they was trying to do the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs thing. And he was like, but here he go playing the Toxic Avenger.
Like, how are you gonna play Toxic? Like what?
No, I've seen this though, man. My older cousin, he had me watch this shit.
Oh, you watched it?
It's dumb. It's bad, but it's trauma. That's like watching like What's Going On at Nukem High or Surf Nazis Must Die or Time Barbarians. They're all bad fucking movies. There's no redeeming quality about them, but they're so bad they're entertaining.
Oh, we're definitely having a trauma month in your birthday month, dude. Definitely.
Well, we already have one trauma film is already in there.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely.
I know. We might do a switch. because that's gonna be interesting. Anyway, keep going. So she looks at the screen and she listens to the voice. There is a mask, but she looks at the movie and she's like, what is that? And he's like, are you like living under
Rock is like, no, I'm from
rock?
Utah. A joke again, AJ.
A joke,
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm sorry. And she kind of finds out the jig is up. And oh yeah, do you want to know about the ass fuck twins? Well, I'm not. You, Susan, please trust me. This is educational. This is educational. They're covered. They
Not
are
covered. Haruko. They do have pasties on. They are covered.
They are covered. It's pasties. They're covered.
Well, the thing is too is you know how he's a Mormon, AJ, so he can't curse. It's like, well, I can't call them that. Can I call them the naughty twins? Why? That Max tells him, why would you call them the naughty twins when they get fucked in the ass all the time?
Yeah, and when he has to say it, he's low and he's doing it fast. That's fuck. It's like that's fuck twins.
It's like
don't harm me. That's fuck twins.
That's fuck twins.
Well, they got some great casting. Those women look hot.
Oh my god.
Well, they were legitimate Japanese porn stars. That's the guys from the actresses from Kooky Inc. Yeah.
So Joe Young finishes a day off work and he comes home to find
This is right at the end here. This is the last line from the photographer until the last line from
all the way up to the end.
Sancho at the end. So you know the photographer, they end up Chota Boy ends up using something called the cock rocket. So he literally straps on a little basically a small firework, for lack of a better term, that shoots off and it explodes, whatever. But apparently it's not what Max Orbison wanted. Yeah. So he's pissed off about it. But he always just screams "cock rocket" when he shoots off.
It's good. So
after that, so when they're rapping, Joe has a conversation with the photographer in the last line. This is the when he just finally drops the line completely, where he walks into like, "Hey, listen, I don't want to sound queer or nothing, but I'd really like to make love to you tonight."
Yeah. And Joe's like, "What the fuck is going on?" It's just all the facade just literally melted away. It's like, yeah, I literally want to fuck you.
He's going for it. I respect.
He's going for it. He's like
it's like
he's batting 100, but he's going.
Shoot your shot, but
anyway, comes back home to a horrified girlfriend, obviously.
Because Lisa's sitting there watching the porno.
She just rented the Orgazmo, the original, and she's just watching it horrified. And he's trying to explain to her where it's not him. There's a stunt cock. I had to do it.
Well, it's just like, well, how could you have sex with all those women? Well, I didn't. We used a stunt cock. A stunt cock? Like, so you mean you didn't touch or kiss any of those women either? No.
Well, I touched them.
Well.
Hey, how much is she gonna allow? That money sounded good at first.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Apparently, she still loves him. So the thing is, the director has had it up to here because of Joe being a little bit more, rebellious on set, because he really, really doesn't want to be there, even though it's good money and everything. He always he doesn't want to say ass fuck twins, and he doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to feel the girls up. So the director said, well, let me bring somebody new. Enter in the weirdest, the craziest Sancho. And he's doing
Sancho?
it like a porn interview, and he's like, who are you? I'm Sancho.
I am Sancho.
What do you do? I'm Sancho.
I am Sancho.
What is your credential? I am Sancho.
Well, no. Are you Sancho? No. You are not Sancho. Neither is Scott Baio Sancho.
Yeah, Scott Baio is not Sancho. I'm Sancho.
You are Sancho. You're hired.
You're hired. Yeah. That's it. That's all I need to do. Just have
Joe barges in.
Gravitas, and that's it.
Joe barges in to try to break up the whole thing, and you could hear him go, "Listen, I got to get out. I've got to get out of this. I have my fiance left. I have to go back to get her." And the Sancho is looking up and like, "Oh my God, it's Orgazmo!" And Jacko's like, "No, I'm not Orgazmo." But you hear him in the back of it like, "I am Sancho."
All right.
So Sancho is he a porn star in real life and in this movie?
I
No, he's just an actor.
think so. He's just an actor.
But within the movie, he's an actual porn
Within
star.
the movie, he's trying to get into the
porn,
sequel
yeah.
of
Okay.
Orgazmo. Yeah.
He got that confidence already.
Because the director
Exactly, yeah.
the director wants to replace Joe because he thinks he's a
Yeah.
liability because he's he has a rebellious nature, plus he's a Mormon and he wants to get rid of him and he doesn't want to pay him, so get a new porn star. All right,
So
we're
he
gonna
acting like a
stop.
pussy.
We're gonna stop here before the last kind of act of the whole movie, and we're gonna do our second segment of the night, which is called wait for it. No. All right, wait, I have to set up the second segment of the night, which is called Screen Fighter.
Round 1. Fight.
What is Screen Fighter, you say? Screen Fighter is very simple. We take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. There's no discernible difference between the two. Both of them are good. Both of them are bad. We fall into our criteria, which is Friday evening, Saturday evening, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. You got two movies in a vacuum, only these two. Which one will we pop in? AJ, if you haven't seen one of these or both, just say so. But we're going to still talk about these. So the whole point is, which one of these movies will you pick to watch out of these two?
That's asking me first.
Yeah, you go first, man. We got a
Talladega
treat.
Nights, hands down.
Talladega Nights. Any particular
X-Men
reason?
X-Men Origins, with all due respect, fuck you.
Oh.
I'll drop all due respect. Just fuck you. That movie's awful.
This is not a controversial thing.
No.
We're going to go with Ricky Bobby. Fuck yeah. Right. Amadeus or Magnolia. My guess, AJ, because of your age, probably didn't see Amadeus, but did you watch Magnolia?
Nah, man, haven't heard of these.
Right. Magnolia, dramatic, heavy, dark movie. Is it Terrence Malick?
Terrence Malick is starring
Terrence
with
Malick?
really, I would say really Cruise is really the big
it's
name
like
in
an
that one.
ensemble cast, but Tom Cruise does most of the heavy lifting. This is the Japanese version, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Katakana.
Katakana. And Amadeus is on the life of Amadeus Mozart. Actually.
It's actually a really good movie.
It's actually a really good movie. So we're going to go to All My Feelings. Please tell me, sir, which movie will you pick?
I would definitely watch Amadeus because it actually has some moments of levity in it. Magnolia is just a fucking bummer.
It is. It is really, really dark. It's worth a watch. Not gonna lie, but I think I've only seen it once in my life. The best character is Tom Cruise.
Yes, handedly.
The rest are pretty, I wouldn't say deplorable, but unlikable characters. Amadeus, it's also pretty dark.
Yeah,
but
it goes to like
it's a
at the very
story of-
end. You know how AJ, you know how how Mozart died, right?
No,
He had-
I don't.
Yeah, he had
He-
syphilis,
He
basically.
died from syphilis. He died penniless, and he died in a pauper's grave. Like one of the biggest musical geniuses of
Of all time.
humanity
But
died
they
in a
got-
pauper's grave.
and it really shows in the movie itself. They really glorify him as an artist, because one of the things he was known for is literally coming in a room, even if somebody played something that he've never heard before, he can literally sit down and replay it beat for beat.
Yep.
And if there's room to improve it, he actually improved it on the spot. And there's a scene to do that. So to show that. But yeah. So Amadeus. Right.
I'd go Amadeus. Yep.
All right. Little Women from 1933. I haven't seen it. Super Mario Brothers or Coyote Ugly. These are
You, Mev.
horrendous movies. AJ, you probably didn't see Super Mario Brothers.
I
But if you
see
did,
Super Mario
please say
Brothers.
yes. You have?
Yeah, I saw Super Mario. Yeah,
Nice. Good.
It's such a
Which
bad
one
movie.
will you watch?
Coyote Ugly.
Reason?
Super Mario Brothers was so terrible, and I'm looking at women over here, and it's in 2000 as opposed to 1993, so some effects could be better. I feel like
All
I get a
right.
better experience with Coyote Ugly.
All right. Cool.
Those terrible Koopas and that Bowser and Super Mario
Oh,
Bros.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ugh.
yeah.
It was so bad. Oh,
It
like,
was-
and also, AJ, if you ever want to read something really interesting, read about the behind the
scenes of the
on
Super
how
Mario
they
Brothers.
had to make Super Mario Brothers. Apparently, John Leguizamo was hammered the entire production.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, falling down drunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
And it was-
not
they were
a good
in the-
time.
They were basically in a warehouse that was almost as a hothouse, where it got up to 112 degrees while they were shooting on set during most days. Like,
So
miserable.
so he just had issues with what's that, James Franco playing with Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people were
John
on him about
John Leguizamo as an actor is really, really good. Personal life, yeah, take it or leave it. Take it or
Well, it
leave
just
it.
makes sense that he didn't remember that he appropriated another culture because he was drunk the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not new that in Hollywood, a lot of actors are so hypocritical to the point of ridiculousness. Like, it's nothing new. That's the problem. Now that it's like social media and everything's open. You hear, you say something, it bleeps up like it goes around the world in 30 seconds, and everybody's got an opinion, right? Right.
Yeah.
Saf in the chat says Coyote. Oh, my feelings.
Still probably gonna have to go with Coyote Ugly. God. As
I'm
much as
gonna
I love Dennis Hopper, but oh my God. Him
it
as
is a travesty.
him as
that
Bowser?
great
No.
two actors,
No.
maybe even three actors, was roped
Yeah,
into
Bob
doing
Hoskins
this
is really,
thing.
is a
Bob
great actor, too, but-
Hoskins coming off a fucking mega
masterpiece.
mega
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Who
yeah.
Framed Roger Rabbit, and later with the one with Cher. I don't remember the Shampoo Girls. I don't remember the name, but
Is that
this is
Moonstruck?
after the one with Cher.
Yeah.
One after. So he was riding mega high and got this. It's like Jesus, right? What? Go ahead, AJ.
Well, I was saying this is why we got reason to be nervous for the next one, the next Super Mario movie.
Oh yeah.
They
I'm sorry, has there ever been a good video game film? Please.
Maybe Sonic. My kids really love Sonic.
Sonic was actually okay. It was okay. It really didn't have anything to do with the games at all. It had just the characters in it. There was no real tie in there, except for the character names were the same. That's about it.
There's no good. Oh my God! I so fear for The Last of Us. I'm so afraid.
We already know it's got to be shit.
Oh my God! All right, guys. All my feelings. Your camera just went off. Right.
I lost everything.
Two movies:
there.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off or Scream. AJ, have you watched any of these?
Man, I've seen Scream. I have not seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
All right, Ferris Bueller is definitely on the list.
But
Right.
I would choose that one over Scream.
All right.
Yeah.
You would watch that over Scream. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Scream, actually. Even though Ferris Bueller's Day Off is kind of an iconic 80s movie, really, I never saw the appeal of it. Never have. I'm weird that way. After watching Scream, after covering it on the podcast, even though I'm not a horror guy as well, I'm going to go with Scream. Just because it's actually super iconic. They're both iconic in so different way. Such a different way. Sorry. Yeah. All my feelings?
I'm still gonna have to go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off because is John Hughes in Chicago.
Yeah, I know. All right.
That's Matthew Broderick, right?
That's Matthew Broderick. Yeah, that's Matthew.
So he's
Broderick.
the voice of Simba and the Lion King, and I like the Godzilla movie. So.
That's a rare take. That is a rare take.
Hold the phone. I thought I was weird. Let's go. Confession time. the 1998 Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm.
All
I was
right,
a kid.
I'll do you
I
one
was a
better.
kid.
I'll do you one better. I'll stack
What's
you
up?
up with I don't like E.T.
Me either.
AJ, you just bought yourself a fresh ticket to the next podcast. Whatever that will be.
Now,
Right,
man, that
cool.
Godzilla movie, I was a kid when that Godzilla came out. So I remember going to the theater, seeing this big ass dinosaur destroying shit. My dad bought me the toy. So I had a big ass like Godzilla. So it was an experience to me, man. It was cool. It was a cool movie.
Man, it's just you and
No, see, AJ,
it's just
I can
you and
see that.
Lofty, dude. Just think about it.
No.
It's you
Yeah.
and Lofty.
Don't do it.
That's true, though.
Hand
I
in hand
mean-
going to watch that movie.
I like Batman and Robin too, with the nipples on the suit.
Right, cool.
To see you.
Nice to see you. All right, cool. So the plot thickens as the girlfriend of Joe Young, because he went all rogue, and the director. We get to find out that the director actually is the guy who is behind what happened to G Fresh. So the goons are his goons. You got to get to find out about that, and to put a lean on Joe Young. This his girlfriend gets abducted, right?
Mhm.
And we get to see this call made to make sure she gets abducted and make sure Joe Young shows up for work. Where we are next, the two boys are out to fight crime, out to rescue
Well,
his
no,
girlfriend.
but before that, I wanted to bring up the one line where Ben,
Sure.
Joe originally goes to Ben and says, no, I'm leaving. I'm done. This is before he finds out that they got Lisa. Where
there.
it's just the line that he says, because he finds out that it was the thugs that they beat up at the club. AJ, we're working for Max, the guy that makes all the porno.
Yeah.
He tells them, well, they were the guy that beat up G Fresh. They're the one who, it's Max who's behind everything. But Joe is saying, no, I'm not. I can't do this anymore or anything. But the line that he just says, it's so perfect and it's so distilled and there's such verve behind it. It's so funny. He goes, I'm not a superhero. I'm a Latter-day Saint.
Yep. Which is like, all right. So the two boys kind of find out, well, we have to rescue the girlfriend. Max, the director, has kidnapped. He's like on the phone. It's like, blah, blah, blah. You have to be here. Have to do this because I paid you and I own you and all that crap. And I heard what you did. And of course, they strap her into the bed to make sure she is in the porno big red light, as in we're going to have a scene here where it's actual rape. Maybe.
Yeah.
Of course. It's all implied.
That's the setup of it. And the line there where they were talking about that, like, how could you guys do that? How could you, just degrade all of those women? And when the guy on her right says, it also degrades men because they're the one who wants the product. And it's Ron Jeremy. No, it's Ron Jeremy. After they goes like, well, then, no, actually, when you think about it, porn just degrades people.
Yes.
And then you have Max on the background saying, like, I don't give a shit about any of this. All of you are fucking stupid. And Ron Jeremy's character just keeps going, and agreeing with everything that he says. And then Max's character finally goes, especially you, Clark, Ron Jeremy's character, you pig fucking hunk of shit.
Yeah.
And Ron Jeremy just goes, yeah.
I've always thought that about Ron Jeremy.
Well, let's not kid ourselves.
Yes. So then they have the whole.
By the way, the only Jewish man with a big penis, Ron Jeremy. By the way,
Well,
Yes.
I've never seen his work. I will say that.
I've seen his work. He's the only Jewish man with a big penis. Trust me.
So then
Trust me on that one.
they do have the one line when they have the whole kit up. They have everybody, both Joe and Ben, getting ready. And he
Yeah.
goes, let's go with the Orgasmobile. The Orgasmobile, my Buick Century. It does a smash cut, AJ, in where it goes, Buick Century. The old classic like station wagon from the mid-90s.
Yeah. Where they do pass the wall that I just flashed up, they meet the guard dog. So what do you do with the guard dog? You have their Orgasmo Ray shoot the dog because it won't hurt him. It would just make him extremely nice.
No, bad dog. Bad dog.
Bad dog. Don't do that. Bad
So
dog.
keeps humping and humping and humping. He gets to the front door. He knocks on the front door, and Bilbo, that was the big security guard's name in the beginning. He opens up the door and just starts laughing, and then it pans to Joe standing there, and that German Shepherd is still just humping his leg.
Yeah, he's still there.
As long as he's not biting it.
As long as it's not biting, that's cool. It's like, I can deal with it. So they beat his ass with another, Orgasmo Ray, and they face off. This is the most hilarious Ron Jeremy you've ever seen in your life. Now, I can't really catch the whole bit. This is it's so hard to pinpoint a scene, but there's a scene where he does two wheel kicks in a row. Now, if it was done by a stunt guy and the smash cut is very good,
it wasn't.
I couldn't tell.
It was actually Ron Jeremy.
It was actually Ron Jeremy doing two wheel kicks in a row. He didn't do him good, but at least he did him. I thought for a second it was like some sort of a stunt thing, but there's no smash cut. There's no, it's doing angles. No, it was just one angle, and he just turns and then turns again. It's like, okay, where's the movie magic here? I think he just did it. And he's like, Cho Ti Do.
No, he invents Jane Kwang Do.
Jane Kwang Do. Yeah, Jane Kwang Do, which is, not
it's gibberish.
Yes. So they face off with this guy and one of the other porns, like Stunt Cock or whatever. He has a name, I think. It was one of the guys who tied the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And of course they surprise the cousin or the nephew, I'm sorry, he was the only one crazy enough and dumb enough and aggressive enough to actually do the rape scene. Everyone else was like sitting back and just doing their job.
I do have to pause for just 1 second.
Sure.
There is one scene at the end of it, AJ, where he does a flying jump kick, and it's the dumbest fucking thing. They have his foot go into a plaster mold of Ron Jeremy's head and smash it.
Yeah.
Practical effects, man.
So the thing is, the nephew actually beats Joe, the Orgasmo guy, and he goes over to Chatterboy to fight. Now, the first thing he does, you notice where his right hand is behind his ass. He literally starts the fight he farts in his hand and he throws it at Chatterboy, and it takes him a while to figure out what's going on. It's like, oh shit, oh no, and then it starts the fight. So
is that where that comes from? That joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the first movie I've seen him in, where they literally he farts in his hand and he serves it.
Yeah.
And in here, Joe Young is on the floor. He's beaten down by this guy, and Chota Boy is like, he's almost out of luck. He's like, well, you have to use your hamster style. And he's like, no, I can't use my hamster style. And he goes into the flashback again where he says, Dad, I'm thinking about quitting the hamster style. And the dad's like,
That's nice.
nice. And
But
he has
it cuts to a version of him, AJ, with the actual actor at his age sitting in front of a giant bowl with a giant spoon with cereal.
Yeah. instead of a real boy where it was in the actual original scene.
It's so dumb.
And then now the actor himself kind of looks like a rat. Let's be honest. The actor himself, he's a really good friend of Trey Parker and Matt
Deanne
Stone.
Bahar, yeah. He is,
but he actually looks like a actual rat. But let's just say he channels that. And what he does, he goes into like rat mode, and that gives him some sort of power. It's, again, so dumb. What he does, he literally takes the hand of the other guy and he nibbles on it like this. Like that, as some sort of a like fancy like street fighter move, but it's ridiculous. And of course he defeats the bad guy because, movies. And all that's left is
there's a line where he tries to shoot Max eventually has a knife and he gets on the bed with Lisa and he's holding it like, don't come any closer or I'll cut her open. It's like, I'm Max Orbison, I'm the mayor, I'm the police and the crime, and who the fuck are you to think you can stop me? And they put in it's Ben Chota Boy.
Yeah.
He cuts up the wire and plugs it into the Orgazmo Raider, the real one that Joe has on his arm.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm Orgazmo. Yeah, the typical kind of like Marvel-esque comic book line.
Yeah.
Like, who are you to stop me? I'm Orgazmo. So he shoots him, and he keeps shooting him.
He keeps shooting him. And by the time he kind of stumbles on to the outside where the pool is, he's like, oh, wait. He's like about to stumble into the pool, and he's like, one more for Jesus. And he shoots him one more, and he drops him into the pool.
And they say the line. Sorry, go ahead, AJ.
No, I was like, you should have pulled up where's the picture where this man is covered in his own juices? That's what I wanted to see.
They don't show that. They don't show that, thankfully.
That's the only thing they don't actually show.
But it shows there's multiple.
Let's just say he's content.
Yes,
because it's an Orgazmo ray after all.
But it shows him with all the orcas in there, and Joe gets to say the line, now he's sleeping with the fishes.
Yes.
See?
Exactly.
Oh, this movie is so great.
The line is so cringy. It's unbelievable. And of course, he rescues the girl. He rescues everybody. And of course, the place gets on fire.
No, so that's the whole thing. That's the callback. You know how they had that cock rocket joke, AJ?
Yes.
So you're like, hey, Max, look, I made it bigger. So apparently he made a giant explosive and it blows it up. But the thing is, the production value of this movie is so low. They have a tiny little.
That's as far as I can show. As far as I can show.
They have basically a model version of the house, but they just have the model version of the house on fire.
Yes. It's literally a
pans to it, and then it pans back out.
House.
To them standing there. Then they have Sancho. Remember, like, I am Sancho? He's standing next to the photographer guy, and Sancho looks over to him and goes, I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but I think fire is very romantic.
And the photographer guy turns around and he gets the creepiest smile ever to end the movie.
So I finally got one.
And finally, I got one. Oh, of course, it doesn't actually end the movie because we have sort of
two more scenes and that's it. Then there's just the wrap up where it has. Chota Boy, he's talking to Joe and said, "Oh, I realized why I couldn't do hamster style because I was running from something. I don't know what it is." And Joe goes, "Yourself. Yeah, you're running from yourself.
Yeah,
you idiot. You're running from
you're running from yourself."
So the two of them are hugging and everything, saying, "Oh, it's if I'm ever in Utah, I'll come see you and everything. But we're going to leave now, and the typical kind of wrap up and goodbye. Then it's Lisa who stops him, saying, "No, no, no! I think you found your purpose here. You should stay here. You should fight crime." So then Joe decides to stay to be Orgazmo, to fight crime, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
she
there's
gives
a side.
him the weirdest kiss ever.
Yes, and they have the weird makeout session, which is just
It's just weird. It's
It's
not
like
even
the-
sexy. It's just
no,
awful.
it's just kind of gross.
It's something. It's
just-
something.
Yeah, it's something.
He does get something.
But also, there's G Fresh in the background. Yeah,
Yes.
G Fresh is wearing a dashiki.
Yeah, G Fresh is
That's
wearing
all right.
a full-on dashiki. Because
And there's also a
with
scene
the
where
fucking hat.
yeah, where Joe is standing there, and after they realize they're gonna stay, he looks back in the background, and there's a fade in of like a transparent Jesus, just giving him a thumbs up.
Yes. That thing is hard to catch. Sort of
it's so bad.
By the way, is this scene part of it? Because that's
No,
the
no,
really
this
bad
is
scene.
the very end. Yeah,
That's
it's
the
right
very,
before
very,
this.
very
but
end.
Don't worry about it.
it.
Don't worry about. Well, we'll get to the very end. So this is that's Lloyd Kaufman, who's the doctor there.
That's the
But,
doctor who's the producer of Trauma Films. That's
Yeah.
the guy.
He's the co-head of Trauma.
Okay.
Yeah. So the doctor tells Max that, hey, your testicles are swollen to the size of oranges, and we're gonna have to cut them all off. And Max laughs because now he's gonna be neutered man, so he can go after Joe
Right.
now because the Orgasmo Raider won't work on him.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, do you know who this is?
Another very famous porn actress.
Janine, I think he's called.
Yes.
Or Janine.
I don't, but I see them.
Ah,
them
yes,
things
I see them too. We all see them. We all see them. That's the whole point.
Hands.
And
then
that kind of wraps up
got the credits to
Orgazmo.
Now You're a Man.
Yes. And
The only thing that is funny in the credits is there is, that line typically is no animals were harmed during the making of this film.
yeah.
This says no Mormons were harmed or persuaded to worship Satan during the filming.
Good.
Right. And it kind of harkens me back to this is even before the Mormon episode that they did on South Park, I believe. This is
Yes, it
before
is.
South Park, actually. South Park is 1999, 98?
No.
Because the first time I saw South Park was actually when I was in the Army, and I enlisted 98.
It was August 13th, 1997 was the first episode because it's their 25th anniversary is this year.
When was this released? December?
Mm-hmm.
So they have already shot this before they started South They South
They
Park
were
was
doing it actually
already-
simultaneously.
that's hard. That's really hard. Were they still working out of Denver or something? They had some sort of a place outside of Hollywood, I think. I think they still do. I'm not sure
Yeah, they do.
where it is.
Actually, they own their own town now.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised. So this is definitely, but way before the Mormon episode like a very famous Mormon episode.
I think 2 years before. I think it was season 2 or 3. I think it was season 3.
3, I think. They were really established at that point where every single episode, it offended somebody. I mean, offended, as in not the typical Twitterali, whatever. It's literally you offended the Mormons. You offended, I don't know, Scientology. You offended.
That was in 2005.
The Catholic Church.
One of the earliest
really
ones with the Catholic Church,
hard.
and then also the the Cherokee hair tampon episode. Oh boy, that pissed a lot of people off.
Like if
that
you're talking
pissed a
about
lot of people
offending
off.
people, if you're talking about offending people, they offended people hard. They went hard in the paint. So their whole fascination with the Mormon thing. Do you know where that comes from?
Because they the two of them actually grew up in Utah.
Oh, I thought they were Colorado boys for a
They
very
went
long
to
time.
college in Colorado.
Oh, that's where the Colorado thing. Oh, well, live and learn. Because
And they also knew a
I
lot
do
of
I do
Mormon
like
people. So.
this much research.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, I know you're terribly annoyed with me. Thank you. Right. All right. Cool. That kind of wraps up the whole show. We usually have a segment where we have a short version of Orgazmo to have a little bit of levity and a little bit of fun to go around. But of course, I had the Rona, or my feelings, who is not in charge of that particular part, did have the
Also
Rona.
had Corona.
We both were down and out for the count, so no.
And it's
no
a little
short
difficult to
version.
make a short version of this film, to be fair.
Apparently, YouTube Shorts really disagrees with you.
Look, I don't want to interrupt y'all, but sound like y'all wrapping up. I don't know, but I was on my hotspot this whole time. I've been having internet issues, so now I'm starting to get robot voices, and both of y'all are frozen on my screen.
We'll just send you off, and then we'll wrap up the show. Okay, AJ?
Okay.
So,
man, it was fun. It was fun, though.
Everybody,
Thanks,
we've got AJ linked in the description of the whole show, and we've got AJ linked in the description below. Okay? You just click on it. It'll go to AJ. You can sub to him. He's got a podcast. He's got opinion videos, all that good stuff. Anything pop culture, everything that is Marvel, Disney, all that stuff. Go to AJ. Sub to him now. He is on his way. Like us, we are on our way to 1K, the coveted 1K. So please, AJ, thank you very much for joining us. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Thank you for being.
I don't know if y'all can hear me.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
So, in the title and in the description, just click on his name. It'll drop you straight to his channel. And also, by the way, I didn't have it on the start of the show just because whatever. If you do want to interact with the show itself, you can always at me on Twitter. My DMs are open. On Instagram, DMs are open too. Mephisto79 down below, or you can see that. Or you can email the show at the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com. If you want to get in touch with Abomination AJ on Twitter, just put in at Abomination AJ, same as his name, in the description on Twitter. It'll going straight to you, to him. Sorry, not to you, to him. Right, cool. Next week, we have another Trey Parker, Matt Stone movie, another crazy one. It is called Basketball. Where the trio, we'll see the trio again, with a whole different set of.
Matt Stone has a very more inclusive role.
Yes,
in
Matt Stone is more involved in that one as well. And we see a little bit more of dynamic. Watch the movie Basketball, 1998, right? Right?
Yep, 98.
98. And come back to us.
It came out actually 2 weeks after American Pie.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, cool. Watch the movie. Think you can get it on Hulu?
I think so.
I think it's on Hulu.
I think it's up on Hulu,
and it might be even on Amazon Prime because they have a rotating thing of movies.
It
was on Netflix for me 3 or 4 months ago, and I missed it.
I would say I think it also is on Tubi if you can't find it anywhere.
Oh, on Tubi, right. On Tubi. Yeah. If you're in the States or have VPN, just go watch it, catch it, even get a fucking DVD off of eBay if you really want to. And join us next week where we'll discuss that movie because that was
we're gonna have a
fun fucking ride. I'm not gonna lie. And until next week, good weekend for me. Good weekend from you. Have a good night. Enjoy yourself.
Take care, all.